So, good evening, friends. I'm retaking the yesterday's session of Materia Medica. Unfortunately, uh, I have I missed to record the yesterday's lecture, so it will be a repeated session for the same remedy, that is the Carbo Animalis from Allen's skin. This remedy is very close to the carbo vegetabilis. Many aspects, because carbon is common. Only thing is that it is not so well proved remedy as the carbo veg is. This remedy is not thoroughly proved, but it has in background a very characteristic psychosyphilitic miasm, the cancer miasm. And it is a wonderful remedy specifically in elderly peoples where the cancer of stony hardness like conium, like Phytolacca decandra, if it is there, of a last stage, this remedy is a wonderful remedy. I have shared the case which I have treated a way back. In fact, not treated completely, but I have kept that patient alive for longer time of duration with the help of this remedy, that is the Carbo Animalis. She was a lady around 50, and all of a sudden she started having a very severe pain in her breast, and it was a heart tumor. Then she consulted someone, and they said that it was already advanced so much, nothing can be done. And then this lady, she has kept at home, and when it opened up, there was a lot of slough, lot of discharge, and someone suggested my name. And then patient was brought to me. She was an elderly lady having very severe heart tumor over there with offensive discharge from that, and it was a slough, necrose slough, which was there along with that. So that was a very typical future. Whenever the open cancers are there or ulcerative cancers are there, the first I used to think about the remedies like Asteria rubens or Hydrastis or Carbo Animalis. But Carbo Animalis has one important thing. It is whenever the tumor is there associated with lymphadenopathy, the cervical lymphadenopathy, axillary lymphadenopathy, and lymphadenopathy has a typical consistency of bubo-like formation, that it contains the pus and it is not too hard over there. And then it has very typical manifestation. That is the differentiating factor which I used to take into consideration while prescribing the Carbo Animalis. So I have considered this Carbo Animalis for that patient. Along with, I have given the 30 Carbo Animalis to her for few days, along with a local calendula application, cleaning of that dress, whole wound with the everything. And then I have kept the calendula soaked on gauze, the gauze which was soaked with calendula mother tincture kept on it. And then that offensiveness disappeared, and patient was very much under the control of pain with the help of the medicine Carbo Animalis as well as the local calendula. And it worked beautifully for her, at least for a year. She survived with that, even in advanced, specifically in advanced cancer. So this Carbo Animalis is a wonderful remedy for the CA breast, specifically if it is advanced cancer, and where that cancer has offensive slough, it has offensive discharge, and it is completely last stage associated with lymphatic enlargements or lymphadenopathy, which looks like syphilitic. There is a coppery hue over the eruptions. Then it has a typical significance of it. So we have to understand all those concepts. Carbo Animalis, we cannot think in just an ulcerative stage like Asteria rubens. Asteria rubens also has. But in Carbo Animalis, it is the metastasis which is going towards the lymph nodes, and lymph nodes having a very typical consistency of a bubo, like syphilitic. And this typical future which we have to understand. Many times these peoples are suffered from the severe headache associated with that, as if head would burst. And they sits in one place at night, they wakes up and they keeps hands over their head like this, and they holds the head with both the hand. That is typical position with which they feel better. Otherwise, they consider that it will burst. So this is the Carbo Animalis case, and let's open the Alinsky notes and see what he says over there. It is animal charcoal. Carbo Animalis is animal charcoal. It is a remedy from cancer miasm, that is psychosyphilitic miasm. Headache as if tornado in the head. Tornado means wadal, wouter. As if head would have been blown into the pieces. That much severe pain is there. Has to sit up at night and hold it together. Many times metastasis of the breast carcinoma into the brain can cause the similar type of pains over there. Diseases of the old elderly persons with marked venous plethora, blue cheeks, blue lips, and great debility. This is the carbo veg picture, which comes in Carbo Animalis also. This indicates the failure side. This indicates the venous stasis. This indicates that cardiac failure. And because of which they have a severe debility. They don't have a strength. There is cynosleeps. Circulation is feeble, stagnated, and vital heat sinks to the minimum, a cyanosis. So this is very close to the carbovage, this is very close to the antimptat, but antimptat, the things are rather different. It is because of the respiratory problem. In carbovage, it is because of shock. The things are rather different. There is imperfect oxygenation because phlegm is full inside the chest in the antimptat, because of which the imperfect oxygenation produces cyanosis over there. In carbovage, it is because of circulatory failure. It is because of the congestive cardiac failure. See the glands. The glands are indurated. They are swollen. They are painful, specifically in the neck, axilla, groin, mammary. Pains lancinating, cutting, and burning, like conime. And just right over there in your book, the stony hardness of the glands, which is also there in conime, which is also there in Phytolacca decanter. Uh, what the hell English? Storm. Tornado means like a storm. It is not a rotation. It is like a storm inside your head. Benign suppurations change into the echorus and malignant condition. So it starts with the benign tumor and ends with malignancies, with a discharges, with echorus discharge, easily strained from lifting. So it looks like a rustox, but it is recurrent strains are there. Even for small weights, straining and overlifting easily produce great debility. So if you try to overlift, immediately produce great debility. The ankle turns when walking very close to the natrum curve, very close to the ledum pal. Ankle turns quite easily. Ankle gets very easily sprained is a natrum carbonicum. Joints they are weak, easily sprained by slight exertion. Ledum has mentioned just right over there. It is natrum carbonicum. Aversion to open, dry, cold air is opposite to pulsatilla. After appearance of menses, so weak can she can hardly speak. So tremendous weakness, like alumina, like cocculus indicus. The patient becomes so weak whenever the menses appears. Menses flow only in the morning. Underline this characteristic. Hearing is confused. It is good remedy for deafness. Hearing is confused, cannot tell from what direction the sound comes. A stitching pain remains in the chest after recovery from the pleurisy. So there is continuously stitching pains in the chest after recovery from the pleurisy. It is like abrotenum. Abrotenum, there is also similar type of feature. If aconite and bryonia fails, what he mentioned is the if there is a continuous heaviness, pain persist in that specific area, then it is if it is the product of pleurisy, then you must think about the abrotenum. That has also mentioned over there in the so whenever the pressing sensation remains after that, then it is abrotenum. If stitch remains, it is a Carbo Animalis or ranunculus bulbosus is another wonderful remedy for that. Menstruation, leukorrhea, diarrhea, all are exhausting. So what he says, menstruation is also exhausting, leukorrhea is also exhausting, diarrhea is exhausting, like arsenic album. So whenever they appear, patient becomes absolutely weak. If they are offensive, it is sorinum. So this is in short regarding the Carbo Animalis, which he has mentioned about it. Very clear cut idea about Carbo Animalis. What I suggest you, this is a wonderful remedy specifically for the cancers where you can find such types of characteristics. The cancer, the open cancer, the last stage of cancers, specifically of breast and uterus, copper colored eruptions, there is constitutional syphilis, there are buboes. Buboes, this is very important remedy. Bubo is nothing but the suppurative inflammation of the inguinal lymph nodes in syphilis is called as bubo. Relationship complementary, it is wrongly written over there calcarea and phos. It is not calcarea and phos, it is calcarea phos. So must change that in your book. It is calcarea phos. Similar to badiaga, bromium, carbovage, phosphorus, sepia, and sulfur. These are the remedies with which you have to compare the Carbo Animalis. Carbo Animalis is often useful after bad effects from spoiled fish and decayed vegetables like carbovage, like alimsipa, but very close to arsenic album also. Arsenic where there is a because of the meat, spoiled meat, if there are complaints which are there, then arsenic is wonderful remedy which we have to think, and many times it works in many cases. This is called as sausage poisoning, which is there for which arsenic is mentioned. Aggravation after shaving, if it is amelioration after shaving, bromium is the remedy. Aggravation from slight touch, aggravation after the midnight. So this is in short regarding the Carbo Animalis, what he has mentioned, Alan has mentioned about it. It is a wonderful remedy to be considered specifically in cancer. So that's all regarding the Carbo Animalis. I have repeated it, for the purpose of recording. Those who have present today also, thank you being there, and we'll meet tomorrow with new remedy. Not today, not I have some appointment, so we'll meet definitely tomorrow. Thank you and good evening.
Thank you, sir.